I have lived a lot of issues in the past few weeks. At 2:36 a.m. on Christmas morning, my daughter and I said goodbye to Graham, our dog. He was with us for 13 years, and it was quite traumatic because we had specifically returned home early. So Christmas Eve, we went out to supper, came back early because we didn't want to leave him alone too long. But by the time we got home, the scenario had changed and we had to rush him to the veterinary hospital. And then we made the decision that it was time. While the holidays were still going on, and we were still trying to get over what had happened, Pat, my spouse, came down with the flu. It's not a big deal for most people, I know, but with the last few years in Pat's health, I was concerned. This was probably, yeah, I was concerned. So, but Pat's doing well. Still has repercussions of the flu. So it's like it still seems to be there, but so I guess I'm being overly concerned and mother henning a bit just because of some of the crazy that's happened with his health in the past few years. I ended up about a week and a half after he got the flu, getting the flu. Obviously, that was probably unavoidable. And as you can hear from my voice, I was better, I'd say, after about 7 days, it's about a week. And I felt much better. But I'm just waiting for my voice to come back. I actually lost my voice. And the issue there is that working for myself and speaking for a living, that was a bad thing. And so I ended up missing some work, which is not great because I already taken a full 2 weeks off because of the holidays. So of course some of the illness happened over the holidays, but I had to miss some work. And several times during the past few weeks, I did have thoughts of having some nuts. I didn't have them, but the thoughts came to me. And that happened because when I'm not doing well, apparently still, eating off plan is a thought that comes to my mind. Please subscribe. It's like this. Is it a reflex? I'm going to call it a reflex. It's not something that I want to actually do. It's something that comes to my mind. I didn't do it because I know that eating off plan will never make me feel better. But what's more important is that I know that when I eat off plan, my body typically hurts. I know that when I feel off plan, I become lethargic. And I know that when I eat off plan, well, now I know, I didn't know this at the beginning of my life and all the other ways of eating that I've done. When I eat off plan, I have I have mental fog. I don't think well. And I only know that because when I started to eat keto, I was able to think more clearly. To be fully transparent, while I was sick, I did have like some impact on my eating. So there was a change to the pattern of my eating. There were 2 days. So I was back to work by this point. So I guess it wasn't while I was sick, it was just after. And I was extremely hungry. Like hungry in a way that I'm not normally. So I was ill, did all the ill things, felt better, went back to work. I was so hungry that day that I actually went to the grocery store and I bought cheese and sliced ham and I made like a full-blown lunch. And I'm calling it it was a meal because like I ate almost the whole, well, I ate half the container, which most usually for most people a slice of cheese and two slices of would have been enough, but no, I ate half a container of cheese, of the cheese. And so it was a good amount, but I did that because I was hungry and I just kind of I used the cheese to make sandwiches. I would say after four slices of cheese and a bunch of ham, I felt not hungry anymore. So, And then I went home and I still had supper, a normal supper, my typical. And the next day at work, I felt the same. So I ate two more gigantic ham sandwiches made with cheese slices. So that was different for me. I don't normally feel hungry during the day. And I wanted to share that with you. I guess my body needed to recover from being ill. And although I did eat, I don't think I missed any days of eating. No, I'm sure I didn't miss any days of eating while I was ill. I ate just the same, but that was different. And during the days of being ill, I had one meal a day, stayed the same. Maybe I ate slightly less. I know there were 2 days during my eating while I was ill that I didn't finish what I had made. So that's actually true. I didn't finish on 2 days. So there were a few little small differences. The other thing, though, that was kind of out of the ordinary is the Friday. So the last Friday, a few days ago, I felt like I wanted some egg salad, which is something I hadn't had a craving for in a long time. I had this feeling for eating an egg salad. Thinking back on it today, I have a different idea about it because I'm thinking like maybe with Pat still struggling with some side effect repercussions of being having the flu, still living some things. Maybe I'm still emotional, although he's doing better, but again, there's still things that we're concerned about. So maybe that's why I wanted the egg salad and I didn't put it together because there's nothing that says, so it's eggs, it's bacon, and it's mayonnaise. There's nothing in there that I can't have. It never occurred to me to even question having an egg salad for supper. So I made myself egg salad. I had eight, no, four bacon slices and 8 eggs, and the mayonnaise was made with avocado oil. Well, let me tell you, Wellness Warrior, I didn't think anything of it because avocado oil was totally fine, but my body totally reacted. The next day, was I gassy? Was I bathrooming? Was my body reacting? And the thing that I find interesting is that I don't think it was the amount of fat. Actually, I'm like 100% sure it wasn't the amount of fat because when I make 4 slices of bacon, typically I would make sure that the oil from the bacon I eat. It's a normal standard practice that I do. I didn't have the oil from the bacon. I just had mayonnaise instead because I'm thinking, well, the oil, like I thought I would be. So, and I didn't even have as much mayonnaise like as a usual person would have put to make egg salad. So it was really a wake it up moment for me, an eye opener for me that even avocado oil. So I had put down coconut oil years ago because I found it wasn't doing well with my skin and it was causing me to have reactions. I don't use coconut oil very often for frying anything. I use tallow and lard and butter and bacon grease. It's the first time I would say in more than 6 months that I've used avocado oil. And now I'm seeing something. So I'm either going to figure out how to make mayonnaise with bacon grease or butter or something, or Pat suggested to me that maybe I should have used sour cream to make my egg salad. But yeah, it looks like I'm putting down avocado oil. It's things are changing, Wellness Warrior, and I'm sharing all this with you today because I know that we all have hard things happen in our lives. Problems happen. We struggle. And in my comments and in the Wellness Squad, often I'll have people explaining why the difficult thing in their life caused them to eat off plan. Now, I'm talking about my pup today. We called him a puppy. until he left us. I don't even know why, but we just did. The puppy, the puppy, the puppy. And he, I think a few times near the end when he had his moments, I was like, "Ooh, the old man." But it was more unjust than anything else. I have actually lost some family members over the course of the last few years doing while I was doing keto as well, and talk about that here, um, because I I wasn't in a place that I was ready to talk at all. Although I feel much better, and my grieving has completed for those family members. And then you go on with life, and it doesn't come up. But because I'm talking about my pup today, I'm going to mention that I've lost some family members. And even during those times, I ate on plan. So people come to me and they say, Violet, I'm struggling so much because this work thing happened, or this relationship thing happened, or I lost someone. And we talk it through. And the biggest thing that I'm constantly trying to get you to understand is we have been tricked into believing that eating some kind of toxic garbage nonsense treat will help us emotionally. And I'm telling you right now, with the people that have passed, with my pup that has passed, also in the summer, I lost my bearded dragon. That was difficult. With the pets and people that I've lost, with the problems that have happened at work, with the life things that I go through, just like you guys, it never helps me to eat. Honestly, being gassy after the stupid avocado oil, which wasn't well, I now wonder, was that some kind of self-soothing thing that I even didn't even label that way, because there's nothing wrong with eating egg salad. The thing is that I don't usually think about having egg salad. It's not on my radar typically. Now, I will say that during the holidays, Pat had made deviled eggs. So is that why the egg salad was in my head? I don't know. But me taking the time to take extra steps to make egg salad, that's odd. I would have eaten the 8 eggs and bacon just with salt. And that's how I would have normally eaten it. So why I took the extra steps to make the egg salad, that's the part I'm questioning. Did I somewhat fall into the self-soothing? And again, I come back to, we are programmed. And yes, in truth, I am still concerned and worried for Pat to be better. I want him to be better already. I want him to be just walking around and making jokes and laughing and being his normal self, sounding like him. I want to be sounding like me. I want all that stuff to be complete. We don't get to decide when things are complete. So I ate something that's perfectly acceptable in our community. Avocado oil is acceptable. Um, uh, Eggs are acceptable. But that solidified in my mind that I need to be even more careful. That if I've taken, for the most part, avocado oil out of my diet, then I need to be careful. Like, what, am I bringing it back? Am I really bringing it back? Is it back forever? Because remember, Wellness Warrior, your microbiome, your gut biome, your all the what you are is built on what you eat regularly. And it didn't even dawn on me how long it had been since I had had avocado oil. So maybe if I was gonna have some, having a small amount might not have had to, I don't know. See, this is the thing too, is that I don't know how much I could have if I wanted to reintroduce it, but then do I want to reintroduce it? Is there a reason for me to reintroduce it? These are questions. I and I don't know the answer. I'm not saying the answer is no. I'm not saying the answer is yes. I'm just saying the answer is I had avocado oil for the first time in more than 6 months, and my body pushed back and said, "What are you doing?" And I'm going to listen to my body. When those family members passed, I did the only thing that I could do. We all did it in my family. We grieved. My bearded dragon and my dog have left. And I did the only thing that I could do. I grieved. And in the middle of grieving, I put myself around people. I didn't stay home from Christmas, even though I slept maybe 3 hours the night. No, did I sleep more than 3 hours? I think I slept because we got home. We didn't go to sleep right away because my daughter and I went to the vet hospital. But then we got home and Pat and the boys were there. They were kind of waiting for us. And we all cried a bit. And then we just kind of talked a bit. And we had talked while we were at the vet hospital too. The boys got to say goodbye by video. They weren't there. But like we took some time as a family to just like go over like what just happened. But then I kept myself around people, even though I didn't tell them what had happened. I didn't feel that that was appropriate. I wasn't alone, and our family wasn't isolated. We did the thing. We went with people. We laughed. We did the thing, right? Because, well, what we needed to do was grieve, and what we needed to do was be around people. When Pat got sick, I did the only thing that made sense to me. I went there. Well, I took care of him, and he was at my place a little bit, but then he was home, and I went there and I took care of him, and I made him supper on the days that he wasn't feeling up to it. And when I got sick, I did the only thing that I could do for me was I took care of me, and and then when I lost my voice, I did the only thing I could do. I stopped speaking and focused even more on taking care of me. And it's part of the reason that there wasn't a live stream last week because, right, there was I wasn't feeling terrific last week to do the live stream. So throughout the whole thing, I did the only thing that made sense, which was eat on plan. That was what, when I was sick, that was what was going to help me to heal. When I wasn't sick, it was what was going to help me to keep my mind straight and be able to focus and be able to answer questions and to be able to do that. I mean, Pat had questions and we were trying to talk it through because, yeah, you have the flu, but then these other things started happening. I mean, we were wanting to talk it through. And I'll be honest with you, Wellness Warrior, when you're not feeling well, if you let yourself eat off plan, or even if you start allowing the dumb ideas of the world to come in and change what you figured out, right? And you don't eat the best thing for yourself, how could you be slowing down your healing process? Like the truth is, what I ate egg salad rather than eating pork chops or like a plate of meat. I should have kept eating a plate of meat. When I was not feeling great, well, when I was feeling hungry, when I was at work, I didn't go and just get eggs. I got ham because it was meat. So I was still thinking very clearly at that point. But I don't know. Again, like the eating eggs, like just eggs for supper. Now, maybe it's also because I wasn't super hungry that day. I was hungry-ish. Maybe that's why the egg salad sounded better to me too. But I know when I'm trying to heal my body, the two most important things that I need to do are fast so that my body has time to heal and eat meat with the accompanying fat. So that's animal protein with animal fat. That's what my body needs. So that's a bit of the reason I'm a bit frustrated, annoyed with myself. Just a little bit there about the egg salad. And I'm sharing it with you guys today because I want the best for you, Wellness Warrior. I want you to know that you can actually stay on track when problems happen in life. This idea that it's impossible to eat healthy all the time is a bunch of garbage. It is. Life gets hard and things are tough. I'm not over my dog leaving yet. As you can tell, I'm starting to get a little emotional. I'm not over it yet. I don't know how long it's going to take me to be over it. Sometimes I walk around the house and I walk by where he would be and I look for him. Still, I did that like 2 days ago. Or I'll be making my coffee and I'll go check. because when I would run the grinder, he'd like perk up because he realized I was in the kitchen. And I go check. When I throw a puck in the garbage, sometimes I still check. Like, I know that hard things are going to happen, and the hard things don't end overnight. I'm not eating on track because the hard thing was contained in a short period of time. I'm not eating on track because I have such willpower. I'm eating on track because I know me being healthy is actually the best thing I can do for me, first of all. Yeah. But I'm also eating on track because, one second. I'm also eating on track because my dog was all about fun. And in the last few years of my life of losing people, all the way back to my grandmother, she was all about having fun. And one of the things I've realized in life, people leave, it reminds us to have fun. What's the point of having a healthy body if I'm not having fun? I want everybody to stay on track. Sometimes life hurts. The thing is, the answer is never covering it up. Pretending you aren't hurt doesn't solve it. The answer is actually interacting with the hurt, the problem, the situations. But bad voice and upset doesn't work well for me. I sound weird. But I need you to understand, Wellness Warrior, that the answer is interacting with the problem until the problem is solved. In whatever way the problem is going to be solved. For me and my family, right now, solved meant that I needed to recover from the flu. Solve means Pat still needs to recover from his flu and like get his health all the way back to great. You know, I need to recover from having lost my voice and like whatever lingering cold is still with me. And we as a family need to recover, so get through our grieving process. And I know that Kyler and I were the ones that were the closest to Graham and to Reese, our our bearded dragon that left. We were the closest to them. And so yeah, like, you know, we still have our moments every once in a while where something happens and it's just like, oh, there it is again. Um, I don't know when that's gonna stop. You know, for the people that have gone, it took years. But I feel good that we've gotten to the part where we can remember all the great things about Graham and Reese and the attitude they gave us and the fun moments that we had together. And I feel like that's why I was able to talk about Graham today and kind of share the fact that even in my struggles, I want you guys to know I have struggles. And I'm not a special snowflake that just floats around and stays on track because life is perfect and nothing ever goes wrong. I need you guys to understand that because I do think that we somehow get that misconception when we see people online who talk about staying on track all the time, that we haven't fallen. It seems odd that I haven't fallen, but it's not. Wellness Warrior, I can guarantee you that if you made some kind of mistake at work, let's say that you were arrogant and aggressive with your boss and got fired, and it took you a heck of a long time to get a new job, and that caused financial problems in your life, and maybe even problems with you and your family members. And like if being an arrogant, obnoxious person caused a huge problem in your life, and then you found a new job and you liked that job and things were going well, would you get all arrogant and up in your boss's face? in the new job? No, chances are you would have learned from that problem and you would be careful in how. Doesn't mean that you're not going to stand up for yourself. Doesn't mean that you're not going to explain why something might be a problem. But you wouldn't make the mistake of believing that you can do anything and get away with it. And Wellness Warrior, I lived 23 years of pain because of garbage, because I didn't understand that meat, fish, poultry, and eggs is what is actually food. Because I didn't understand that vegetation is unnecessary to eat. And that if I was going to eat it, I should be eating only the low glycemic vegetables because fruit is absolutely unnecessary to eat. But if I'm going to have vegetation, low glycemic vegetables, that's the way to go. If I am going to have vegetables and plant matter, that starches are safer for my body than all the other things if I keep the carb count low enough. Again, all these things become complications that for my life equals why would I eat vegetation? So I stopped it. And before I got to the point where I stopped it, the starchy vegetables and my history with food were not getting along. I absolutely today understand things about food that I did not understand that allowed me to eat things that were damaging my body. Now that I know, the reason that I don't fall off keto or carnivore at the moment, and carnivore, what I believe it will be forever, the reason I don't fall off carnivore when I am upset, the reason that I will see those or hear those ideas of I could eat that and feel better, or see something and go, will that make me feel better? The reason that I interrupt those ideas and remind myself, no, Violet, that will make you feel worse. The reason I step in and remind myself is because of the 23 years of pain that I did live. I remember. And in the last 7 years, I don't know how many months it would add up to, 4 or 5 months of me eating off plan, although accidentally, it still happened. Eating things that I thought were okay that turned out they were not okay for me. So eating off plan and then realizing, no, Violet, that's not food for you. That is why today, deciding that I'm carnivore, I eat carnivore foods. Only, always, intentionally, that's what I eat. That is why today I still do the research to understand, is this what I'm doing actually the healthy thing? Because heaven forbid somebody finds something out that throws a monkey wrench in what I'm doing that I should know about. So I'm keeping myself up to date. To date, everything is still pointing towards what I've learned is good information. So I will keep going forward with that. My goal today, Wellness Warrior, was to help you understand why I'm eating the way that I'm eating, why you, whether you're keto or carnivore, you need to trust to eat on plan, because eating on plan is what's helping you to be healthy, first of all. It's what's going to help you to stay healthy, because no matter what's going on in my body, no matter what's going on in my mind, if I'm hurting in some way, whether it's psychologically or physically, eating healthy food is always the answer. Being psychologically harmed and eating poor quality food, because unhealthy food, garbage, is poor quality, eating that is never going to be better for me. Ever. It cannot be. So, whatever problem is happening in your life, eating on plan is always the answer. That is why I do it. That is why I encourage you to do it. And the answer then becomes interrupt the idea that garbage would make you feel better, because that's the real lie. That's the actual lie. If you allow yourself to see that that's the lie, things are going to be better. You're going to be able to see the results, because you would eat on plan every single day and your body would get healthy, be healthy, get to that healthy space that it wants to get to. It's trying to get you to there because it needs the healthy food to get you there. And then your mind and body functioning better, your weight would regulate. If you found this video helpful, share it. Those signals to YouTube help YouTube to know that the video was helpful. And if you made it all the way to the end, can you please go and comment, prioritize health, and then tell me how you're going to do it? I want to know what your next step is.